Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and this is the scandal, this one right here, that might force Kamala Harris to remove Tim Walz from her ticket. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, check the lower right-hand corner. youtube.com/@explainamerica is the address. Come on over, hit subscribe, help us preserve Judeo-Christian American values in this nation, and it's absolutely free. Tim Walz did not misspeak. You're going to hear those words a lot. He misspoke about weapons he brought into war. How do you misspeak about that? If you've never been to war, how do you say weapons I brought into war? Weapons I used on the battlefield. You don't know you weren't on the battlefield? How do you misspeak that? Well, they're using that line. Though he misspoke. Well, then he must have done a whole lot of misspeaking because, lo and behold, we have another video. Now, this time, Mr. Walz appears to insinuate that he served in Afghanistan after 9/11. He was never in Afghanistan. He never saw combat in Afghanistan and Iraq. He never saw combat. But how do you misspeak this? How do you misspeak that you were in Afghanistan? You don't know if you were in Afghanistan or not? Those of you watching the show, maybe some of you were in Afghanistan. I would venture a guess that a lot of you that are watching probably did serve in Afghanistan. But for those of you who didn't, you think it's a mistake you can make? Oh, I went to the store, got my nails done, went to Afghanistan. Doesn't really just roll off the tongue, does it? I think you know if you were in Afghanistan. So then I have to question, is Tim Walz having senior moments? Because he's not that old. Is he suffering from some form of dementia? Or, the more likely scenario, is Tim Walz a stone-cold liar who presents a facade to the American people of who he is? A facade he presented to the people of his state and got away with for all this time because his media was complicit, and now the national media is attempting to be complicit, but they're having a tough time because we're finding all these videos. One of those two things is true. Which one is it? I vote Tim Walz is a stone-cold, unabashed, stolen valor liar. And that, well, that's shameful. I want you to watch this video. And I want you to let me know what you think in the comments. I'll tell you right now, I didn't serve. I didn't serve. I don't have that bravery. Did not have the bravery to do it. I admit it. I admit it. But it disgusts me. Because Tim Walz did serve. He served for decades. Till, of course, it came time to actually do battle. And that would have been fine if you didn't pretend you did battle. Watch this video, guys, and let me know what you think.
And both of you, with your keen understanding of how this works, especially from National Guard families, I can tell you this, having been one of those that came back, we were in support of OEF, but sitting in there with OEF, OIF veterans, when we came back, they showed us the horse whisperer and told us to be nice when we went home. And that was the extent of it. That was in 2004. Now, I'm proud to say that because of the people sitting in here and people who came before me, things have changed over the last 4 years. They have not changed enough. But Mr. Kennedy is following and moving something forward that the late senator from Minnesota, Senator Wellstone, advocated so clearly, mental health parity, and this issue of destigmatizing mental health, of understanding. And I being in there and knowing as a first sergeant, know exactly what you're saying, and watching as people aren't trained on this, that there is there's a discrimination that goes against a soldier who has the courage, the fortitude, and as you said, the insight to admit this. So there's a couple things I want to ask you.